LasVegasDiscount.net's the best there is. Save up to 50% on your next Vegas trip. And travel, rental, shows, and tours. Find the deals you're looking for. LasVegasDiscount.net. LasVegasDiscount.net. If you're going to Vegas for deals that are the best, visit LasVegasDiscount.net.
FightNetRadio.com with Andrew and Lee, talking boxing, combat, sports, comedy, football, and everything kick-ass. All on FightNetRadio.com. Fight Net Radio!
Hola, soy Julio César Chávez.
That's lights out, baby. Lights out all day.
This is Sugar Ray Leonard, and you listen to Fight Net Radio.
I mean, this is ridiculous. It's a radio show. It ain't a 1-hour television spectacular.
Everyone in this room is now dumber for having listened to it.
We gon' know. I got eyes and ears everywhere. I got friends all over the world, man.
Who gives a shit with White? He's a piece of crap.
With a tear in my eye.
Hi, everyone. Welcome to Fight Net Radio. Andrew Labouche, Miguel Antonio Barragan. My name's Frank Honish. I'm Lee Honish's cousin. And we're putting it up on the screen. If you guys spot Lee Honish anywhere out there, we don't know. We don't know if he's alive or dead. The last we knew, at the end of an episode, he was carted off by his friend Andrew to go do a 3-day lockdown. And just to play it out for you guys so you know what happened, he got taken in. He got locked up. He was sat on a chair. He picked his locks. This is all by report. Got up and then walked out the front door and then forced his friend Andrew to come back.
Are you talking about
90 miles.
Is your other friend named Andrew? Too? Oh.
No. Same. He's not my friend. He's Lee's friend. I'm just his cousin. I'm just reporting the news.
I got you.
Lee sat there for 2 hours and literally got up and just walked out the front door. And now for the last week, because I have Lee's phone, they've been asking for a review of how they did with that situation repeatedly. No joke. Can't even make that up. That's a lot of fun. So there you guys go. If you are out there, the last I had heard, I don't know where Lee is. Nobody does. He's gone. He's not doing his day job. He's not doing Fight Net Radio. Lee is gone. My name's Frank. I'll be sitting in. Hopefully I can catch up. But let's get started for everybody. Let's jump right in. I was told to use boxing scene for some reason. I was given a whole bunch of weird show notes by him. Whatever. So Jarrell Miller and the boxing PED program. This written by Thomas Hauser. I know a little bit more about boxing than Lee does. So as far as I can understand, Jarrell Miller was basically a free agent who got picked up by Bob Arum. So let's just start right here with both of you. It's no shock to me that PBC is shitting on Jarrell Miller at this exact moment by actually getting an actual writer to write this story. Before I go into this, are you surprised by it at all? Andrew, right? Guy from, you're in Stockton. Stockton?
Yeah, so what are we upset about?
Are you surprised that the PBC is writing a story about Jarrell Miller?
Oh, no. No, boxing's dead, Lee. He's kind of big news, so no, I'm not surprised.
I'm not Lee, I'm Frank. I know we sound the same.
I forget.
I try.
Sorry, Frank.
I try.
It's okay. I'm sure you're missing my.
Do you really want to go full inside jokes right here, just because you and I and everybody else gets that?
No, go ahead. I'm sorry. I keep calling you.
What's my real first name, dickhead?
Frank.
Yeah. Okay. Jesus Christ. Fuck me. You know, you want to know the most disturbing part about being me, and I'm not going to break character. I'll get back into it in a minute. You want to know the most disturbing part about my cousin Lee is the fact that it took 4 days and a guy who lives in Northern California and my 15-year-old daughter to be the first people to look for me. That's really fucking. By the way, Will jumped on board with that too. Will goes, I was looking. I'm like, you were? How'd that happen? But I digress. On June 27, 2020, it was revealed that once again, Jarrell, Big Baby Miller, had tested positive for banned performance-enhancing drugs. The test was administered by the Voluntary Anti-Doping Association, VADA. Isn't there VADA and there? Miguel, tell me if I'm wrong. It's VADA and WEDA or
USADA.
USADA. Jesus Christ. At the request of the Nevada Athletic State Commission, soon after Miller signed for the Jerry Forrester fight on the top-ranked card to be televised on July 9th. The source close to the Nevada Commission says the urine sample. See what happens when you guys fucking lock me up my cousin for a week. I can actually read again. A source close to the Nevada Commission says the urine sample that tested positive was taken from Miller on June 16th and sent to Sports Medicine Research and Testing Laboratory in Utah. The positive test result was reported by the lab directly to the Nevada Athletic Commission. The drug in question, here we go. Jesus Christ. A banned substance known as caridine, and he did the cocktail again. The goddamn, let's just start with the first one, caridine. Okay, by caridine. It's available online. What a shocker. Okay. Just like to keep everybody informed. And the second one, unibernerol. This is probably the horse drink, right? So this one, what do I do with this one? What is it legal? How quick does it work? Yeah, how quick does it work? Takes 6 to 8 weeks. What a dick. All right. All right. And then I want to buy, I guess, horse tranquilizers next, right? Urubrol. No, he went with actual performance this time. So according to this one, he went with fairly legal banned substances on this particular cocktail as compared to his last one that were specifically for horses, which, based on the history of Fight Net Radio, was delivered directly to your door. It was developed in the 1990s to treat diabetes, obesity, and cardiovascular disease. It was largely discontinued in 2007 after it was linked to the development of cancer during trials on mice. Well, clearly he's not a mouse. It's not classified as an anabolic steroid, but is considered an anabolic compound and has anabolic properties because it helps muscle mass. Essentially, it forces skeletal muscle to use fat rather than carbohydrates as energy. So it basically puts you in ketosis. I don't want to be a rocket scientist here. This drug forces you into ketosis. And by the way, for those of you wondering, this sounds completely fine to me. Samples taken from Miller on 2 later dates tested negative. Okay, what's the problem here? Hold on. What's the problem here? These are basically not anabolic steroids for the first time. He's just putting himself into ketosis with 2 banned substances. Yeah, I get it. Let's just stop right here. I don't have a problem with this. I start with you, Andrew.
Well, too bad you don't work on the commission for Miller, but the commission has a problem with it, so he's banned. Maybe that's why he's screaming he shouldn't be banned for life. Who knows? But if it's on the list, Lee, you can't do it. You did it.
Frank, get the name right.
Oh yeah, sorry.
How can I be gone if nobody?
Yeah.
Jesus Christ! I did, like my day job. Actually, I said just tell him I'm gone. So what's he tell him? So you're doing the Pacific Crest Trail. Dude, when I say I'm just going to be gone, just say I'm gone, all right? Just let me go. I swear to God, I have a do not resuscitate order on my own stuff. Just everybody let me go. Let me go. I'm done. Done with this life.
Yeah.
You know what happened to me today, left alone? I actually talked to my ex again. Yeah. Yeah. And one that was interested in coming back over this week. God damn it. You guys can't leave me alone for 5 minutes. On June 29th, as a consequence, wait, hold on. I want to know your feelings, Miguel.
Well, I mean, as far as I understand, like that supplement that he's taking, or I guess the drug,
It's a supplement.
it is a banned
Technically, it's a
substance, right? It's a
supplement.
supplement. Yeah, it falls under the category of what's called SARMs. If you guys have heard of it, like SARMS, which is like
Which
it's
is
called
much like taking what was the one the
androgen
baseball
something
players were
something.
taking that hydrates your muscles? That's legal.
EPO.
EPO, but it's legal. Like I can
Yeah.
go to GNC and buy an EPO right now.
Exactly. It's totally
drink
legal,
a lot
but
of
it's just
water and
there's
look
still
like a
banned substances
bodybuilder.
regardless.
Right.
Yeah, so it's supposed to act like steroids, and it's supposed to be better, just not not as fucking I don't know how, not as bad, I suppose, on the body. But I mean, ultimately, you're taking something to try to fucking a banned substance that's on the list. I mean, Nick Diaz has been caught with fucking marijuana metabolites, and it's not like exactly weed is a fucking enhancer, performance enhancer by any stretch, but it's on the list, and he knows it. So fuck him.
There you go. Samples taken from Miller on those 2 later dates tested negative. A negative test result doesn't mean the fighter hasn't used the performance drugs. It means that the fighter was clean on the day that a particular blood or urine sample was taken from him. On June 29th, as a consequence of the adverse test finding, Miller was temporarily suspended at the direction of the Nevada State Athletic Commission Director Bob Bennett. The full commission is expected to remove the temporary and suspend Miller at its next meeting. Absent a negotiated settlement between Miller and the commission, there will be a hearing with the full commission, I'm sure with social distancing. This isn't Miller's first time. Okay, we all know about what he did the first time, and that was a real cocktail. I thought the most interesting part of this was Bob Arum was Bob just cutting bait and run right out of the gate. Bob Arum shortly thereafter released a press statement with quotes. I believe he's going to be suspended indefinitely. I don't think Frank can do the voices technically. I mean, technically, I would have to learn those with time if we're going to go with the joke. I feel like the podcast is very amusing to me. Like there were a few people who sent very nice notes of mentally take care of yourself. Really? You want to know what the secret was for me to get better? I changed the music I was listening to. I stopped listening to soft, sappy shit that made me feel bad and listened to Rage Against the Machine again. You know what? I feel better. Top-ranked CEO Bob Arum is predicting a very stiff punishment for heavyweight contender Jarrell Big Baby Miller, who is once again involved in a drug testing controversy. Miller had tested positive for a banned substance in 2014, was hit with a 9-month suspension. Then last year, he tested positive, my favorite, GW 1516 HGH and EPO.
Oof. Damn, stacking.
Damn, what a cocktail. Which forced the removal from the June WBO, IBO, IBF, WBA world champion Anthony Joshua. I didn't know about this one, Andrew. Did we know about 2014?
Oh yeah, yes.
And by the way, GW 1516 is the one you kids want to buy. If you kids are out there listening to the show for the first time and you really want to know the drug to get, man, this is the horse drink. Man, this is the drug. This is the one, not that shit. The stuff you buy for the
not
horses.
if you're looking to be a boxer, though. You don't want to tell them that, Lee.
There it is, Caradyne. This
Miller
stuff
Street.
right here from Science Bio Products. It's in stock.
or
It's
any
only
legitimate
$50. Should I have it delivered to my door again? This stuff is awesome. I mean, this stuff is straight up awesome. It increases your cardio, drops your fat. Everything about this drug is great. And kids, yes, I said drugs are great. Nobody on the show is above the law on that topic. Samples taken from Miller on 2 later test dates tested negative and negative, blah, 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 blah. All right, Bob, do the distancing. When Miller tested positive, New York, blah, 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 blah. I want to hear Bob's quotes. The gross blah, blah, blah. Oh, wait, I'm on the wrong one. All right, where is Bob distancing himself? I look at it this way. If a fighter takes performance-enhancing drugs getting ready to participate in a fight, then I look at it as attempted murder.
Oof.
That's a little strong, Bob. This is a man who put on 15 and I think he's been around long enough to have done, I don't know, 25 round fights. I could be completely wrong about Bob's age, but tell me Bob wasn't around past the 15-year. Like, Bob is old enough where, really, you didn't fight this hard over the Cotto thing. I mean, to be brutally honest, what's happening in New York, he didn't have a license. He tested dirty and the fight was off. When we went to the Nevada Commission to schedule him for a fight, we told the Nevada Commission, look, if he had been licensed in New York, they would have given him a 1-year suspension. So let's do it ourselves. Keep him out of the fight for the year. Now it's up to the commission to determine the penalty, and I believe that it'll either be a multi-year or a life suspension. If he isn't banned for life, then I believe it. It'll be a multi-year suspension. And if you're asking me, I'd continue my contract with him. The answer is not in your life. Wow. Jarrell Miller will never fight on a top-ranked card. Pretty strong. I start with you, Andrew Labouche. Bob is no longer a whore. How do you see it?
Well, I mean, I think we called it 2 weeks ago when we said it was over for him. And you look at his age and the possibility of him even being suspended for 2 years. The future didn't look bright for Baby Miller. And now with Bob saying this, it's all but done. He will be, looking for a new job here soon.
Miguel.
I say so. Yeah, I think he's gonna have to start borrowing like from fucking ideas from, Tyson Fury or something and hop over to professional wrestling because I mean at this point I don't know how many other fucking athletic endeavors he's gonna be able to pursue legitimately and be okay with getting on the juice. I mean clearly he's dumb enough to get caught, so there's a problem. I'm pretty sure it's over. He's gonna have to start doing other shit.
At this moment, let's take a brief time out. I know that, Miguel, you're a huge MMA fan, and we once again see what happens when there's no crowd. And Jorge Masvidal Usman fight. Was it controversial in your mind? Just so we get that in.
The main event, no. I mean, ultimately, it didn't live up to what we were hoping for because of the circumstances. Masvidal getting the 6-day or 7-day notice, so he had to cut 20 pounds or something in fucking 6 days. He did it, but of course, you can tell clearly it affected his performance. Same thing with Usman. Usman was already like in game mode. He was like ready to start fucking scrapping, and then they're like, all right, the fight with Burns is off. So he's like, okay. So then he decompresses, he unwinds, and they're like, oh wait, the fight's back on, but now you got Masvidal. So he's like, oh shit, I have to get back into fight mode and then fighting a different opponent. So he had he did one of those like look good or no, what is it? Win this fight, look good on the next one kind of deal. He knew he had to win this one. So he did. The fight wasn't as exciting. I knew it wasn't going to be, but controversial, no. Usman got the decision. It was pretty easy.
Andrew, did you barbecue and watch the fight?
No, the guy had 13 defeats. I had no interest.
All right, back to boxing.
14 now.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Correct. Jared Anderson versus Hector Perez. This was part of the whole Frank joke, but I really wanted to just do this. Can I do it as Frank? Let's do it as Frank. Jared Anderson versus Hector Perez. Hey, guys, that sounds like fun. Andrew? I got to still work the jokes in. I still do. All right. We all know it's horseshit. I'm moving forward. Stevenson officially vacates the WBO 126 title, installed as the number one contender at 130. By the way, I don't have to read this. And it's Jake Donovan, who actually we all respect. But let's be honest. He's only going to be the number one contender for the WBO belt. That's it. He's not the WBA, not the WBC, not the IBF. He's the WBO number one contender at 130. All right. Before we read the story, Andrew, this was like a big deal to you during the week of him dropping the belt and going up in weight. Go ahead and talk about it, and we'll just freestyle this because I think it's horseshit because I don't believe he can get a fight other than the WBO title.
Well, yeah, WBO. I think Top Rank also does Jamal Herring's career too, if I'm not mistaken. He's the IBF champ, so they could get something there. Everybody's chasing the 135 dream. I don't see him staying at 130 long, especially because if Miguel Berchelt is to stick around, I really don't see Stevenson wanting to get in with Miguel Berchelt without getting to the money. To me, Lee, the money division's 135. Everyone's gunning for the Garcias, the Hanleys, the Lopezes, and the Lomachenko's of the world. This seems to be where the money's at. So I think he's going to make a quick entrance into the lightweight division and then move on.
Miguel?
I think he's going to stay at 130 for a good minute. The WBO champ is Herring, so I suspect that it's going to be Herring who's going to end up moving up to 135 and pretty much leaving the belt vacant for Shakur to grab. So I think he's gonna have a little bit of a good run at 130 for a little bit, kind of grow into it. But I mean, I'm pretty sure they're not going to put him up against Herring. I'm sure eventually Herring is just going to drop the belt and move up himself. As a matter of fact, he's fighting later this week, I think, right?
Jamal Herring is a nobody without his WBO title. I don't see him dropping that check. He's dropping a significant amount of money if he loses that belt. So we'll
move
see.
up to 135. I mean,
to 135, but he's a nobody up there. See, Stevenson, he moves up. He's like, the new face of Top Rank. He's one of their new prospects, right? But Jamal Herring he's not that guy. No. I really think he needs that title. It's also a double-ended deal. We would have to look at who's next in line. Say if he was to drop the belt, who's next in line in the WBO, Lee? If you could go to fightnews.com to look up who's supposed to take that vacant title shot, because that might, there might be something there if it's a top-ranked fighter. But if it's anybody else, I would see Bob Arum trying to get a double-ended deal with Herring versus Stevenson. That's about that.
Yeah, all right.
Hey, they got new ratings. That's nice.
That's nice. That's big of them. All right, so WBO, it would be Oscar Valdez.
Okay, and he's fighting Burchell, so we'll go down to the next guy. It would be that guy.
Yeah, right.
Jeremiah.
Who's under? Wait, you know how much? You know how much Bob loves?
Yeah.
Wait, hold on.
Yeah.
I don't want to say that Fight Net Radio has a history with guys named Jeremiah Nakatalia, who's probably from Japan, no doubt, or Finland, or some parts unknown. Bob's already salivating at signing this guy.
Archie Sharp. Never mind, you're right, Miguel. He's staying at 130. Jeremiah Nakatalia, Archie Sharp.
I mean, look at this. Wait, hold on. Be realistic about this. If you're really booking this for a year, you take it from Nakatalia in the title, right? Jamal Herring does Burchell, win or lose. Bob's got one of the belts, and one of the guys goes forward. You've got
he fights Jonathan Quindo in his first title defense.
Oh no, he's got Carl. Look down the list. Number 6, Carl Frampton's on the list. Goddamn, Carl Frampton.
But even Frampton, I don't know. Frampton, is he still PBC? He might be PBC still.
No,
they would have to look into that.
I honestly think he's DAZN.
Okay, well that's still not top rank, but yeah.
I actually like the Kiichi Ogawa fight, strangely, because I actually know that fight. Jonathan Okendo, Lamont Roach. There's plenty of fights to make in
There's
this.
plenty of fights there. Yes, there is.
And so if you do Jamal Herring, Miguel Burchell, you get one belt, one guy loses, one guy goes up. I don't see the lose in this. I don't.
And even if Miguel's right about him dropping the title for Bob, maybe Bob offered some decent money to move up and take on one of his guys up there. It looks like Stevenson would be fine with a bunch of these names.
Is Santa Cruz still scheduled to fight whomever he's still scheduled to fight? Because I've heard a half dozen names.
Yeah. Shit. I was trying to think. Who's he supposed to fight?
I want to say it's like Oscar Valdez or Joseph Diaz.
No, not Valdez.
Or is it?
Was it?
This is the weird one.
He's been calling out a lot of people because he just recently moved to 130, right?
Here's hilarious to me on this list. Tevin Farmer is barely ranked on all of this list. And that fucking wall-eyed little bastard is so pushed by the PBC and TMT. You would have thought that this guy would have been ranked a lot higher.
Well, he's at DAZN. He's with DAZN. And remember, Lee.
Kevin Farmer? He is not. He is TMT. Kevin Farmer is straight up.
He's DAZN. He's DAZN. Remember, he fought hella times for DAZN. Didn't he fight like 4 times in a row or something? And
he just fought. He just lost his belt to fucking Jojo Diaz.
Yes.
That was like.
But that was like a one of the, he had multiple fights in a row. He tried to do like 4 or 5 fights in 1 year, and he looked drained, man. His mind didn't look right. Remember, he kept twitching. I know he has, the eye issues already, but he was really showing signs in that night of just fatigue, mental fatigue. And I thought they Hopefully they didn't ruin Tevin Farmer
honestly,
in
to
that
this
year.
day, I do not know. How do you fucking license a guy with eyesight that looks like that? I mean, seriously.
Oh,
I mean, I'm not being rough, dude. This dude's looking somewhere else.
Well,
fuck?
for me, the Joseph Diaz fight put up a lot of red flags. It was kind of scary that night. He kept twitching and he kept looking up. It was just some weird body language that he was having.
Hold on. Let's check which eye. Do you know which eye it was?
I
mean, because if we're being brutally honest,
no, it's one, isn't it?
The right eye, you know what? Maybe it corrected his left eye, Andrew. Maybe his left eye is now center and up instead of all the way over trying to check out, I don't know, a right hand. And by the way, maybe I'm being too hard on Tevin Farmer. Maybe this dude can see, a big time left or a big time right coming in because he's able to take an eye socket and move it so far into his nose that he's got a fucking range of vision that is remarkable for a fighter. Just a thought. So, anybody now question 130? Andrew?
No.
What?
Question the 130 move now?
No.
Oh, great.
No, like I said, I think they're all gunning for 135, dude. That's the money. That's the money division right now.
Virgil Ortiz Jr. Fine enough. Virgil Ortiz Jr. I'm over this quarantine stuff. It's time to fight now. Well, I got a photo from Lee on both 4th of July and today. And let me help you out with northern San Diego and the first beach with the, I don't know if LA County and Orange County beaches are still fucked up, but apparently Oceanside is not. Apparently nobody gives two flying craps, and COVID is, by the way, I just want to report from Lee earlier in the week, COVID is over. Officially. I don't think he had to wear even a mask while he was being admitted to a hospital when he walked out. Walk the fuck out. Out the front door, past the security guard. I can't even make that shit up. Virgil Ortiz, I'm over this quarantine stuff. It's time to fight now. All right, let's just see what he's got to say. When I got the news that I was headlining Golden Boy's first show back, I felt so honored. Ortiz told Boxing Scene. The news really made my day. I've been training since January for the fight. Okay, how's that possible since you weren't allowed to go to the gym? Okay. We were 2 weeks away from the fight when it got postponed. Keeping the same opponents helps, though it was easy to restart training, but we had the foundation down from the last camp we helped. All right. We've talked about this. I'm sorry, Lee's talked about this with you two repeatedly. Virgil Ortiz is back, and we are just a couple of weeks away from seeing Virgil Ortiz put his 15-0 record on the line. 15-0 with 15 KOs, correct? Yeah, 15-0 with 15 KOs. Good job, Lee. I mean, Frank. Are you guys jacked up to see Virgil Ortiz? And trust me when I say this, let me speak for Lee. Nothing would make him happier than seeing Virgil Ortiz get knocked out. Nothing. Wherever he is. Andrew?
Go ahead, Miguel.
Miguel?
Oh, I'm excited to watch him fight. I mean, like, I'm not too keen on his opponent, but I mean, like, he's the right opponent at the right time. Samuel Vargas. He's and I've kind of like maybe gone a little overboard with like criticizing like Danny Garcia for fighting guys like Samuel Vargas, but I mean he's got some rounds, he's got some fights. He's gonna give Ortiz some rounds for sure. I definitely he's a beatable opponent, which is why he's there. Right now Ortiz has been pretty much mopping the floor with his opponents and been able to take them out. Although he has kind of come across a couple of road bumps. I'm expecting him to win, of course, as we all are. I'm looking forward to seeing more of Ortiz in the ring, not just him like whooping his opponent's ass real fast. And Vargas is going to give him rounds, so I'm totally looking forward to that one.
Andrew?
Yeah, definitely looking forward to it. Ortiz is one of the bright prospects coming into this year, and he's getting back in the ring. And I think Vargas is a good opponent for him right now. He's only got 15 fights, and so this is going to this is going to show us where he's at, especially coming in off of this long layoff, not having the best training. We'll see how dedicated this young man is this week. If he comes in and annihilates Vargas, I think people need to take notice in the welterweight division about Virgil Ortiz.
Bob Arum, Herring Frampton will be rescheduled to November. I don't need to read the story. Andrew has heard this from Lee all week. You heard it on last week's show.
Oh, well, there you go.
Yeah.
So at least he's staying for right now. It looks like he's staying in the junior lightweights.
Well, okay. With that said, that's one way to look at it. You realize that there's no sight and that he's pushing it back. And
they're pushing everything back. No, they're pushing everything back. But Lee, listen, at a certain point, Herring versus Frampton is going to get made.
Fight in Oceanside because nothing's being pushed back here. Nothing.
Well, everything's getting pushed back in boxing. If you keep seeing that's all top rank, they just moved Lopez Lomachenko to October. I think Wilder and Fury have had 3 dates so far this year. They're pushing everything. But listen, some of these fights are going to start getting made, and these fighters are just going to have to adapt to the money change. That's all that's going to happen here. It's either Herring and these guys that are, not that marketable. They're on the other side of shit. The hell it just left me. He's not that young, right? He's getting older now. There's a lot of Lomachenko. He's getting older now. Okay, your Deontay Wilder's getting older now. They're all in their 30s, man. Late 30s, mid 30s. These guys are going to have to start taking fights here soon. This shit's going to go away. You just take the pay that they give you. Now, everybody that was missing out on those $1 million paydays, those guys, the Khalid Plants of the worlds that were denying Saul Alvarez fights, now they're begging for them. Those guys are really going to start hurting when they see the money's changed now. It's not the same. But no, eventually we are all going to move on. It's just lesser paychecks.
Well, isn't that the reality? Bob's not building fight. Bob's not going to build Fight Island. Miguel, are you shocked by the postponement, reschedule, pushback, yada 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 yada?
No, I'm not shocked at all. I mean, it sounds, maybe it's a little like over optimistic by Bob, but it sounds like every time he's talking about some sort of postponement, he's like, maybe by this time things will get better and we'll have fans in there and shit. Talking about 2,000 or 2,500 or 3,000 fans in an arena separated and spread apart and all this shit. So clearly he's very optimistic about having fans in there, and maybe, the fighters are going to have to take a pay cut, obviously, because the gate is just not going to be in their pocket, or at least less of a gate if he's able to get fans in there. But it's pretty obvious he's trying to stall basically until it's okay to have fans in the crowd. Whether or not that's even going to happen this year, it doesn't look very likely. But Bob sounds pretty optimistic. So the fact that he's pushing back some of these fights, including Loma,
unless they do the fight in Oceanside, I'm just saying. It's a great venue.
Now, have you guys seen how, I saw this on Instagram the other day in fucking Germany or something, where they put up a ring in a parking lot and people pulled up at their cars? They're just in their cars watching fucking fights, watching boxing, live boxing. It's that's literally what they're doing. I was like, holy shit, that looks so dope.
Yeah.
Hey,
not gonna...
Jamal Herring's not only is he 34 years old, he's supposed to fight in his next fight coming up on the 14th.
Yeah, this week or something, right? Or next week, is it?
Jonathan Quindo. Hey, isn't that the name? Bob just called him up. Hey, what's up, guy? You want to fight? Yeah, dude, I knew it would be.
You want to go to the bubble? You want to go to the bubble?
Yeah, exactly, man. Wow.
Just a note from Lee. Just texted to me. I guess he's still alive. Never discuss the bubble again. Luke Campbell, Ryan Garcia has speed and power, but I will KO him. For those of you who don't know, this week Ryan Garcia basically shit on Golden Boy, shit on Oscar, shit on Luke, shit on everything. And so Campbell just today decided, well, I'm going to jump on board the shit on Ryan Garcia campaign. And by the way, I did some homework before today's show and actually went through YouTube and watched and looked at the count numbers for all the free Ryan Garcia fights on YouTube and social media. And Ryan Garcia does worse numbers than midget boxing. Okay. By far. Okay. And for the record, midget boxing has only 500,000 followers, but it literally does higher numbers per fight on average than Ryan Garcia, which Fight Net Radio reported first. Ryan Garcia is literally a fraud. But let's move forward. I would love for it to happen. I'm excited that it will happen. Is Campbell able to do this? I want to say that Campbell is Luke Campbell a free agent? Can they make this? I mean, I get the whole WBC ordering an interim fight, but that means jack diddly shit based on what we've seen with Dillian White. But Ryan Garcia versus Luke Campbell, is this just Luke Campbell pissing in the dark, Andrew?
Well, no, they ordered it, and it looks like both sides are willing to make an agreement. So, no, I think the fight could happen. Campbell don't have too many options, right? He's already lost to the best
I
in
don't
the
think
division.
Ryan Garcia has too many options, but he also thinks that
Ryan
he's worth $5
has
million
more
a
options
fight
than
in
Campbell,
his
though.
mind.
Garcia probably has more options than Campbell at this point, though. So if Garcia wants to fight, Campbell will probably take it. One thing I am kind of getting tired of the Ryan Garcia Cobra bag videos. He needs to cut back on those a little. It's a bag, doesn't punch back. We get it. You're really fast. It's cool. But it's been like 3 years of him downloading these videos. It's starting to get kind of old.
By the way, doesn't do as well as midget boxing. Doesn't. I compared the numbers. Here's how bored I've been during the week. I looked at those numbers. And by the way, the PBC has released full Deontay Wilder fights. Like, they're releasing everything they can to keep. Everybody's releasing all the fights they can, including the UFC. Midget boxing fucking kills it compared to, like, we're talking 5 to 10 to 15 million views of no-name midgets beating the crap out of each other, doing bigger numbers on YouTube than, I don't know, no knock, Brock Lesnar versus anyone, which to me is hilarious on some epic level based on YouTube and social media. I go to you, Miguel. Ryan Garcia, are you done with the drama and just want to see the kid fight?
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, to some extent, I don't think I even really know what the fuck is going on with that kid. Like, didn't we just last year's, like, didn't he just sign the most lucrative deal for a prospect ever, blah, 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 and he's talking about the fucking money. I mean, I know he's gonna, like, what is he asking for, like, millions of bucks to fucking fight bums or tomato cans or some shit? Like, I don't know what the hell his deal is, but I'm sick of his, his mouth. I understand. He's pretty much, we know he's full of himself, right? He's pretty blown up right now. His head is kind of big. He's talking way too much shit for what he's actually accomplished at this point. So I'm just waiting for him to get into the ring and actually prove it. Campbell, if this fight happens, is definitely going to show. Like, we're going to see in this fight here with Campbell if Ryan is the real deal or not. And I too am pretty sick of seeing that fucking video of him hitting those damn bags. Is it just me, or does he close his eyes when he throws punches? Maybe it's just me. It's like some amateur shit when he closes his eyes when he does that bullshit. But I'm pretty sick of him. Yeah.
Look up midget boxing. Look up midget boxing. I swear to you.
All right, I'll look it up.
Well, that's all I watch. I've ended Netflix. I've literally ended everything else. I'm 100% YouTube all the time. And one of my channels is boxing. And on the boxing channel is always midget boxing. And midget boxing fucking kills it. That, and wait, here's the shocker. Backyard boxing still kills it as compared to regular boxers. Go figure. And now PBC, Top Rank hasn't done it, but the PBC as well as Golden Boy and some of these individuals are releasing entire fight cards. Oh my God, it's almost embarrassing to see the view rate. We're talking worse than a bad Bob card in the bubble, which we shall never speak of again. Jeff Horn versus Tim Zhu will go on August 26th with the fans of Townsville. We will be sending executive producer Sam Navajero to that fight as a representative to the fight. The fight is on. And here's why, kids. They don't have COVID cases anymore because they locked down an entire country and they fucking worked it out. So now they can have a real fight in a real stadium between two powerhouses. I'm actually excited about Jeff Horn versus Tim Zhu. This is the first mega fight of 2020. I start with you, Andrew.
Mega fight?
Really? Name a bigger fight that's happened this year. I'll wait. I'll wait
to hear if someone even knows these guys. Jeff Horn and Zhu.
Really?
Hey, Lee, it's a good fight, but mega fight?
You say this a million times. It's always based on the fighters, and it's always based on their name. You got Tim Tszyu, the son of Kostya Tszyu, and if you don't know that name, then you don't know shit about boxing, and you should stop listening to Fight Net Radio. Jeff Horn, who's literally fought
him the biggest fight of the year
so far. I'm not saying that there isn't going to be a bigger fight or a better fight. I'm just saying, as mega fights go, if they actually put 16,000 butts into seats in Australia, you're looking at one of the biggest fights of the year, Andrew. Tell me I'm wrong.
You're wrong. I already did say that. Hey,
okay,
whatever.
where?
Tszyu versus Horn, one of the biggest
fight
fights of the year. Yes, everybody in America is waiting for Tszyu versus Horn.
I guarantee they're not. But we're the smallest portion of the boxing audience. I got to be brutally honest.
We're the smallest portion.
International boxing is
smallest portion. Who owns the record for live gate attendance, Lee? It ain't fucking Australia. I'll tell you that. It ain't even on the list.
Oh, it's a heavyweight champion. Over there. It's a heavyweight champion who held the title for a decade and fought only in Europe. Let's try.
It doesn't matter. It happened in Las Vegas. We're not the small. Everybody tries to get to Las Vegas, bro. Believe me, Tszyu dreams of fighting in America. Believe that.
Gil?
Well, I am excited about this one, and I mean, I'm totally looking forward to this one. I'll be surprised if they really get 16K, people in that fucking stadium. I mean, like, can they? Yes, of course, can they? But I mean, like, I don't know what you mentioned. Australia pretty much has the COVID thing under control. But I mean, is it too soon to start, stacking people on top of fucking one another? 16?
Yes, technically it is. But
it's a little too soon, right?
If they're going to let my daughter go back to school in a couple of weeks along with Andrews, fuck it. Fuck it, we're all just gonna get it.
Yeah, well, I'm watching this one because I'm kind of like slowly, getting on the Tszyu hype train. I feel this guy's a real deal, and someone like with the notoriety. I mean, not that he's a superstar per se. Jeff Horn, at least not here in the U.S., but he's a name because of who beat Manny, of course, and then his fight with Crawford. So people know who Jeff Horn is. Not exactly a superstar by any stretch, but a win over Horn for Tszyu kind of puts him up there, as in like, oh shit, we have to pay attention to this Tszyu kid. So yeah, I'm on the hype train big time.
It's a shame he doesn't fight like his dad. With that said, Canelo willing, and is anybody shocked by this headline?
The first time Tszyu's fighting on American television, because I can't remember seeing him.
He's been on DAZN. He has. I mean, does that really qualify? Is anybody watching it 9 o'clock in the morning? No.
No, I was just wondering if this is going to be his first time fighting on American television, because I don't remember seeing him.
He's done DAZN. He has done DAZN for a fact. But yeah, is anybody getting up at 9 o'clock in the morning on a Saturday to watch the fight?
I'll be up working, so I'll probably watch it.
Yeah, I mean, I'll probably watch the fight, but it's not like I'm losing sleep the night before thinking about whatever. Let's move on. Tszyu versus Horn's great. It's a great fight.
Here's a shocker to everyone. Canelo is willing to entertain Gennady Golovkin in 2021. What? I don't even need to read this. I don't. There was no doubt in my mind that this was going to happen based on COVID. The two sides, I'm not even going to read it. The two sides came to an agreement and went, we need to make 20 or 30 or 40 or $50 million each to do a fight. And we need to do the fight again. We need to do it in Vegas. Let's do it next summer in Las Vegas. And both sides went, okay. I don't care what Oscar says. I don't care what Gomez told Sky Sports. We had some discussions. There it is. We had some discussions. Hey, are you guys tired of being broke? Because we're tired of being broke, and our two biggest guys are just sitting on the sideline. Let's let them fight again at the middleweight title. Any shocker to you, Andrew?
No, I guess not, because DAZN looks to be hurting for money, and this is two of their biggest stars. What I think they thought they had house money, playing with house money before. Looks like the house money dried up real fast, and now they're looking at these two to save the company. Soon, that's what DAZN's going to be talking about here is fighters saving this company.
Go.
I mean, it's these guys got some pretty big ass contracts for DAZN. I mean, they're going to have to get some sort of return on investment, should I assume, DAZN. But does that say that they're going to fight at super middleweight? Is that what it said? Like they're planning to fight at 168? So what does Canelo have a belt there, right? I mean, doesn't he have a belt at 168?
Yes,
or am I
he
tripping?
does. Yes, he does.
All right.
does.
All right, so I guess it's going to be for his belt, I assume. I mean, I'm not too excited about it, honestly, at this point. Let's be real. The only reason the second fight was any different was because Canelo made it different, because he had a different game plan. We're going to see the same shit from Triple G, the same fucking crap. If he's going to be able to do anything differently, I mean, at his age, do you think he's really going to change his stripes? I highly doubt it. I don't see him doing it. And then what's this next year? What did they say? What time next year? Like he'll be like what 39 already at that point or something?
They're very big about it, but let's be brutally honest too. And this is what we reported multiple times, right? To make this work, you're looking at next summer, not even Cinco de Mayo. You're looking at next summer or later, right? And
yeah.
you're looking at a place where you can do it at Allegiant Stadium or somewhere where you can get 20, 30, 40, 50,000 people into a 100,000 seat arena, because each of these guys are going to want minimum 25 million on top of their contracts to do this fight. I mean, this is huge money as fights go.
It's huge money. Shit, man. How do you call this one? I don't know if Triple G has the same star power he once did.
I don't think, and he's got a year off, so
he looks old in this photo.
This is
yeah, dude. I've been seeing photos of him, and he looks older. It's just like, am I seeing gray hair? Is he using just for men? What the fuck?
No, but here's the smart move, right? Canelo's had another year off. He's not really training. He's feeding his horses. He's getting fatter and older. Triple G is old. He's been old for a while. We knew it in the Canelo fight. This is a payday for both of these guys. That's all this is. We're looking at a payday mega fight. This is Oscar dropped weight and got paid, or gained weight.
Gained weight, yeah. Gained weight, and is going to ask him not to stop him. Can we just go 12 rounds?
No, actually, I would see Triple G losing by liver shot and then smacking the mat and going, "Oh my God, I didn't see that punch coming and it hurt so much." I couldn't.
Yeah, I think if they go a third time, it's going to be a stoppage. Triple G is going to go down. Like, I know he's going to go down at this point. Like, at his age, I mean, he didn't look good against Derevyanchenko. He really didn't, and he was hurt to the body. Canelo has some pretty solid body shots. I don't anticipate this fight going the full 12 rounds. But I mean, I guess it's kind of the only fight DAZN can make at this point, or make a fight, I should say.
Tyson Fury.
The only fight they control.
Yes, completely, 100%. Tyson Fury, Joshua refused Wilder twice, being scared of his chin. I'm not shocked by this. And this is such a weird press release thing that Bob put out. I don't know why Bob is hunting. By the way, for those of you who don't know, if you want to know if a story's a press release, because Andrew and I both get them, I don't know if you do, Miguel. But if you see something that says boxing scene staff, that means nobody wrote it. That's just literally a copy, cut, and paste. So I'm going to go with Bob put this out, or his team put this out. They offered him $80 million for 2-fight deal. And I know a few people who saw proof of funds, people who I definitely trusted and refused it. I don't think they are going to get any bigger paydays out there. They refused it because they were afraid of getting chinned by the Bronze Bomber. I'm not shocked. I'm literally not shocked. I'm so not shocked by this, it's almost ridiculous, based on the history of Tyson Fury, Bob Arum, and Deontay Wilder. I mean, the only one who's been extremely quiet through this whole thing is Deontay Wilder, because Tyson Fury isn't giving step-aside money. Let's just be honest. Next summer, we're moving towards Tyson Fury versus Anthony Joshua. Whether or not they can get Deontay Wilder even on an ESPN card at this point and pay him whatever he wants. If I were Bob, I would literally just, what's he want? 25 million? Okay, cool. Just pay him. We'll do it on a Tuesday card on Tuesday night fights at the Bubble. Fuck it. Let's just get it over with so we can move on to next summer, next year. I start with you, Andrew. Any shock that Anthony Joshua was offered $80 million?
No, but I don't know how much I can believe Tyson Fury either, talking about Joshua's business, Lee. So, it makes for a good fight when these two do get in the ring together, start negotiating. But I don't know if it's true or not. Yeah. Did you guys happen to see the news, Lee? Do you have the news about where Tyson Fury, what happened to him yesterday, or what the
No,
UFC
I've
announced?
gone through the boxing scene, all of it. Where
What
was
the
it?
UFC announced.
I know.
Oh,
Is he fighting now?
is this where I come in? Oh.
Yeah,
If you want, yeah. Do you know about it?
Well, as far as I know, on the new UFC 4 video game, Tyson Fury and Anthony Joshua are going to be characters on the fucking game.
What's up with that, dude?
Yeah,
licensing agreements.
No shit. I get all that, but why?
Yeah.
Why?
Yeah, exactly.
You
Why?
don't see Madden football running over to the NBA going, "Can we have LeBron James?"
Yeah, because they already have a license with the NBA. There's no boxing game. There's no EA boxing.
No shit. No, I get all of that, bro. I'm talking about the UFC. Why does the UFC why do they want to do this? I don't get it. So you want the heavyweight champ in your video game, but when it comes to real life, then what? You can't afford them? Don't have the money for it? Because we've been talking this bullshit for a long time.
Yeah. Yes. I'm something.
Makes them look like a joke. Yeah, UFC's a fucking joke.
Man.
God.
Well, UFC or Fury and AJ, because Fury and AJ, they have to agree to that shit, right? Them and their promotional companies, they just have to. Yeah, but it's their livelihood, it's their likelihood, right? They have to like sign off on it, and basically like that's kind of the thing. Like, well, why are you gonna put me in your fucking game if you're not gonna put me in your cage? But they're gonna do it anyway, just for the sake of getting paid.
Because they got paid, and I can almost guarantee you the UFC paid the two boxers the most money out of all the fighters on that video game.
Combined.
I can guarantee you that too.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Which is a joke to all those fighters. I don't know why the UFC fighters put up with this bullshit.
I would argue GSP probably still gets the most money.
Bullshit. No, he doesn't. Sorry, bro. No, he doesn't. Nope. No, I just thought it was a joke. I started laughing. It's cool. I might check the video game out now because of that. Is that what Dana White wanted? He wanted some more fans? I thought he ran this business already. I thought he had the combat sports all wrapped up. Guess not.
There's always room for more fans. Always.
Another star bites the dust last night. Looks good in those robes, though. Put him in another emperor robe. Yeah. Put him on a private jet. Kids will love it.
Street Moses, they call him.
Mayweather is getting desperate for money, so he will travel to Tokyo to Ryzen again. Of course. Soon I'm going to hop on a jet to Tokyo, Japan, for a meeting with my partners at Ryzen for something in 2020. Stay tuned. So it took him how long before Magic, his uncle, his cousin, his mother, his brother, his ex-wife, two sisters, twice removed. Everybody was dead. I'm never fighting again. I'm never going to do anything. Here we are. We're not even halfway through the year. And shocker of shockers, he's going to Ryzen to go get himself a payday. Andrew?
Mm-hmm.
I want him on the video game.
He wanted too much money.
I know.
600 million.
Probably. Miguel, you shocked by the news that he's going over to work? And by the way, for those of you who don't know what Ryzen is, Ryzen is MMA.
I got a question.
Yes.
Do you think if I was Tyson Fury or Anthony Joshua, do you think I would have to have a clause in the contract that you can't just whoop my ass in this video game every time I get on it? What if they got them as like a major flaw? Like they have no ground game at all. You just tackle them. It's like, just beat them up every time. It's going to suck. You do. Hey, wait a minute. Wait, you guys do know that right now in the NFL, there sometimes are contracts that are worked out around the Madden scores that these guys receive on that video game. You guys have heard of this, right?
That's I haven't
heard of it. No.
Yeah, man. There's people that fucking their feelings get that hurt when their Madden score ain't high on the fucking video game that it's in their contract that it has to be a certain place. I just wonder if Tyson Fury was like, yeah, I'll be in your game, but you know, you got to have me as like a badass wrestler too. Like I don't want to just go down every day.
Mayweather. Is anybody shocked that Mayweather only took 6 months and based on his stories, 24 deaths before he decided he was going to MMA or box again to make some money?
Who's he fighting? Who like fucking 115-pound Japanese fighter is he fighting?
I'm just going to Japan. I'm going to Ryzen. I'm going to fight whoever I'm going to fight. Blah, blah, blah. Mayweather's just taking an easy $1 million payday from Ryzen. I'm just not surprised. I think it took longer than I thought it would take him. But I'll go with you, Miguel. Any shock to Mayweather?
No, I mean, that's at this point. I mean, like, I'm sick of hearing his fucking name. You know what I'm saying? It's like anytime he hops on the treadmill, every fucking media outlet is like, oh my gosh, he's making a comeback. You know, it's just like he's a fucking attention whore. We know this, right? Every single time he needs a little bit of attention, he throws his name into the hat and he's just like, I'm coming back. And then everybody rushes to him, bum rushes to him with a camera and a fucking mic just to get some sort of soundbite out of him. So he's trying to get some more. I'm surprised that Ryzen is willing to pay this motherfucker again after, I don't know. Like, I asked this question to like one of the CEOs of Ryzen, like back in the day, like, what the fuck does Ryzen get out of this? If we all know that Floyd in these exhibition fights and in boxing in general has to get his way, right? And the contracts and the fucking the size of the ring, all that stuff has to go his way. What does Ryzen get out of it? They're just gonna get one of their fucking dudes to get their ass handed to them, and all the guy said was like notoriety. That's all we're getting, notoriety. It's just like, did it work last time? Is it worth paying him another however many fucking millions of dollars? Like, how many people are aware Ryzen is MMA and kickboxing? Who knows that? Like, nobody knows that shit. Just, did they really get the notoriety they wanted to from that last exhibition bout? Fuck no. It looks staged as all hell.
Andrew?
Yeah, I actually never wanted to see that little fighter again. He got annihilated. It wasn't even, it wasn't like, oh man, that was a good fight. I would love to see him fight again. Dude, he was crying. Wasn't he crying in like a minute?
Well, he was flopping around like a fish. It was bad acting.
I swear to God, though, he started crying at the end.
Yeah,
like, you're not the future star. Stop crying, man.
Consoling him in his corner. We're consoling him and shit. It's like, fuck out here.
Last one. The average dominance of ESPN continues. As of Friday, the Tockham Forest fight peaked at 344 and 300,000 overall. So Bob's just going to average 300,000 people for these average. Let's be fair.
Yeah, you got to remember, Lee. This is a replacement fight, though, right? This is where Miller was supposed to be at. Not saying that the numbers were going to be bigger, but fuck, Tockham, seriously. Yeah, I don't know what to say about it. It's not a great main event. Nobody really knows this guy. He was a journeyman before COVID. He's a gatekeeper fighter. Find him on the undercard.
It's literally now an average of 300,000 per each of these Tuesday, Thursday.
No, not really. We've had some. You just seen where the peak was at 700,000, 800,000. Don't say now it's an average of 3. We just went over these numbers. You do this every time.
Miguel?
Yes. Oh, what was the question? Sorry.
Never mind. Go to fightnetradio.com if you finally
talking shit about Bob.
Fight.net.radio. Yeah, it's all
the Bob father.
I mean, that's literally all the stories we have. I mean, I've done everything humanly possible to scrape up everything that there is. Is there anything you'd like to add this week, Andrew?
No, we're good. What do we have coming up on the schedule? Ortiz? When's Ortiz fighting?
Yeah.
All right.
Give him that, Lee.
The 17th, I think, is next Friday. I think we got the Herring fight. Oh, yeah, that's right.
Oh, Herring.
Frank.
There you go.
Yeah, we have the Herring fight coming up. Yeah.
Frank. It's Frank, Andrew. Get the name.
You're breaking the fourth wall there.
We've learned a lot by not breaking the fourth wall. We've learned a whole lot by not breaking the fourth wall. All right, coming up July, and we've already passed that. July 14th. Jamal Herring versus Jonathan Okendo for Herring's WBO lightweight title, Las Vegas in the bubble.
Hey, your girl's back.
Yes, Michaela is back.
the one we would all risk COVID for.
I would risk COVID for her. I mean, to be brutally honest. Jamal Herring, Jonathan Okendo. This should be a runaway landslide on paper. I'll start with you, Andrew. Predict the fight.
Oh, yeah. Come on. Landslide. Quindo doesn't even have a winning record. I just looked at it. He lost to Roach, Lamont Roach, who was my second candidate for the title shot that Stevenson will get if Herring does leave. So, yeah, those guys, those two names floating down there that have been connected to Top Rank for a while, they're still floating around Top Rank. So now I have Quindo just getting a check and going back to Puerto Rico.
I move to you, Miguel. Prediction for the fight?
Herring's gonna take it. I think they're gonna go the full 12 rounds. I don't think Herring's gonna be able to finish Oquendo. But I will say this: I'm actually kind of surprised that it's like a title fight. Like, how many title fights have we seen? As far as like remember, like everyone from like Navarrete to fucking Stevenson have been fighting above their weight class. Not for the titles. I mean, obviously they've dropped their belts at this point. But I'm saying, like, have there been any like actual title fights? Is this like the first official title fight that we're gonna have from the bubble?
First one in the bubble, technically. As far as I can tell.
I'm kind of looking forward to this.
And will Herring say anything about Stevenson entering his rankings after this round? That'll be interesting too.
Of course he will, because it creates drama.
Well, we hope that's what we want to create.
And I put Shakur in the ring at the end of the fight, to be brutally honest. I would at least create the drama if I was the promoter. What else do we have? And then on Thursday, Nobody Cares versus Nobody Cares, with Felix Verdejo fighting Nobody Cares.
Oh, but no, actually, wait a minute. That Will Madera, remember, he's undefeated, Lee. So this could be a change in the guard here. This could be a change in the guard.
All right. So on Thursday, you got Felix Verdejo versus Will Madera on the undercard, which is somewhat entertaining. And you've got Herring versus Oquendo. Not bad. All right, Miguel. Anything you'd like to
add? No, I just hope if Frank, you can send Lee a message and let him know and ask him, make sure that he's doing okay. We're all rooting for him and pulling for him. So just send him that message, please, Frank, if you can.
That is very kind. I will pass that along. Andrew, as well as you, since you're the one who has to do the eulogy, based on what I know, if Lee can't pull his shit together.
Yes. Hope you find them soon. The show was kind of fast. We need better.
Fight Night Radio. FightNetRadio.com with Andrew and Lee. Talking boxing, combat, sports, comedy, football, and everything kick-ass. All on FightNetRadio.com. Fight Night!